So there was a lack of confidence, more so, I think, from Everton's point of view. The players might have thought it would be best playing away from Goodison, the debacle that we seen last week at Goodison when the fans were awful for such a classy football club. To treat one or two players the way they did might have helped the players playing away from home. But it was nervy, it was edgy, and it's going to be when two teams are in the bottom three. Never going to be a pretty game. It's all about the moment. It's all about which team can have that little bit of quality. But the second half performance more so told me that the players are certainly playing for him.
Well, how did you read the game as a former manager as well? How does Frank resolve or get himself out of this situation? Because there is a lot of pressure on him. And at the moment, from what the fans are saying and from the protests we're seeing in the stadium, it's all directed at the board and not him. So do you think that gives him a bit of a buffer at the moment?
Absolutely, yeah. It gives him a little bit of leeway because they're more aggrieved at what's happening above Frank Lampard. But Frank has to look at what he's doing himself. He has to believe in what he's doing is correct in his coaching team. And he has to get... Unfortunately, he hasn't got the fans on side for the team. I mean, the fans believe that a lot of them players should not be anywhere near an Everton shirt. Well, my opinion is I think the manager has to get the more out of the group. I think this group of players, when I look at their squad, should be nowhere near a relegation battle. I think someone else, possibly, if they went in there and got a tune out of the players, they would see unrecognisable players to what they're looking at the moment. They're obviously lacking confidence hugely. But as a manager, the buck always stops with you. And I think he's not doing his job well enough. And I think he would admit that. I think it's easy to look at what's happening above you and give the blame somewhere else. I mean, the fans are doing that for him. But sometimes you have to look at yourself. The players certainly have to as well, and the manager, and decide that they need better results. Because the run of results, yeah, they're not great. But if the objective is at that football club to stay in the Premier League, then I think he's got a squad of players equipped to be able to do that.
And this runs back as well to last season, because from 38 games, Frank Lampard suffered from 21 defeats. It can't be easy to be in that position, Karen, for the players and for him.
But I think what Don said there, I think last season, the crowd and their home form really got them over the finish line, really, and kept them up. And with everything that's going on there, if that's not helping you as well, you're in a real bad pickle. I think there Frank Lampard mentioned Richarlison, losing him. You know, I look at Everton and think, where do I get the goals? You know, today the difference was Bowen, goal scorer. And also the silly mistakes, Tarkowski diving in, switching off from midfield runners, the basics. Get the basics right first. And I think that's what you're maybe alluding to, Tim, as get that right. But it's both 18-yard boxes, so it's a really tough situation for Everton. But I believe they've got the players to get out of it, but they need to galvanise them very quick because it's been a long run now.